Hi all, it's Lewis here, looking at some vintage Mardaves and revisiting the Mardave Marauder, and we'll have a look at the change I've made to my Mark 1. Going to compare it with the Mark 2 and then have a quick look at some of the upgrades that you could buy from Mardave for your Marauder back in the day. So onto the Mark 1 firstly. The main thing I've done is I've managed to find a chassis with some really good condition Mark 1 wheels and tyres. So that's the spoked, slightly smaller original wheels and foam tyres. And instantly it just looks so much more vintage and suits the box art Mark 1 theme on the body as well. Some upgrades that you could buy for the Mark 1 early on was the rear tyres. Now those I believe were because the foams weren't so good running on grass, so you could buy the rubber spike tyres and that would run off-road much better for you. And then a super rare one which I didn't even know existed until a few months ago was a very early rear shock upgrade. I've never seen this before, and this is actually a pair of metal shocks. Don't believe they're shared with any other car, and I've never really seen these on many of the second-hand cars that you see, so I think this one is a very, very rare upgrade. I'd love to incorporate it onto a car at some point, but I don't want to cut the body on the back of the original Mark 1, so that might be something for a project car another time. Then moving on to the Mark 2, my very first Marauder had been themed very loosely on the Mark 2, but it was nowhere near the original look, so I've done that again with a new Cantec body. The rear wing is not quite right, as we know, and that's something I'm hoping to fix with an original Mardave wing at some point. Much more sort of detail and all decals and everything on the Mark 2. And the differences between these and Mark 1, you've obviously got the larger spoked tyres and dish wheels. You've got your drive shafts and the centre drive shaft featuring dimples so that the grub screws didn't slip. And they've gone for a dedicated mesh used on the windows compared to the Mark 1s using the 5mm chicken sort of mesh. That's a really cool looking car. And then this is a Marauder that has been set up with some of the upgrades from the day, loosely based on the magazine car featured back in the early 90s. Really, really cool looking car. So you've got the shock upgrade that most people will have seen using the Meteor shocks at the rear, and that involves chopping a bit more back on the body to allow for that to fit. And you can't see it so well, but you've got a front bumper there as well, so that there. And then inside you've got the steel drive gear, which was a common upgrade that came out quite soon after the Marauder was released. And so that is how my Marauder collection now sits in 2024. Thanks for watching, guys.